Well, we'll see if they can take the initiative here on the second map. The draft has already started, so we're going to hop straight in and take a look and see which of these teams is going to be switching it up.
We have a bit of a switch already.
Yes, we do. Just like instantly. So, well, yeah. Okay then.
Okay, so Dragonshire is the map number 2, and we have a task that are banned out by Fnatic, which secures more or less a Kalthas for them. Once again, the 2 heroes that you're currently talking about in the meta are Kalthas and also a Tyrande. It's not always that they are going to be picked and banned, but normally like the draft really evolves at the beginning around the 2 of them. So what Fnatic does here, they ban out a different hero. It's not because they're saying, hey, he is much stronger than Kalthas, it's because they want to have Kalthas or Tyrande. So they ban out a hero that is not Kalthas or Tyrande. The opponent has to react with a ban, and therefore we end up in this a situation where Fnatic gets their first pick, and Mene is going to play Kalthas now for them.
We know Mene loves this Kalthas. The only time we've not seen him playing Kalthas is when Jaina was incredibly high in the pick order.
If you want to counter-strategize against that, by the way, what you can do as G2 Esports is you don't ban Tyrande and you don't ban Kalthas, you ban something else.
Yeah.
And that's why we sometimes see an ETC banned out instead. And then, of course, the teams are going to start to shuffle around who takes Kalthas, who takes Tyrande. So there is actually a bit of strategy that goes into this. It looks oftentimes like it's it's the same start into a draft or a very similar one, but there's actually a lot of thoughts that drop into these heroes, even if it sometimes looks like it's just the standard style of starting the draft.
Yeah, and it might even make sense that the fact they did ban the Tyrande, maybe they did prioritize that over the Kalthas in that situation, or prioritize the ETC and the Falstad over the Tyrande or the Kalthas in the situation, because they now have 2 parts of Fnatic's composition from the last game that were very, very strong and are just really solid heroes in general.
And another thing that we can point out with that directly is that we've been talking a lot about the combo between Uther and ETC. And in this case, G2 Esports made the conscious decision to not go into the Uther. They just said like, yeah, Uther is great, we have the ETC, we value him as he is. If we don't get the Uther with him, that's fine. We're going to attempt to at least take Tyrael, but we want to have that Falstad, or Dragonshire in particular, where you have to control the shrines. And they therefore also deny that combo to their opponent. Fnatic is playing at the same time, again, with Sonya now. And Sonya on Quacknix or Shat is an amazing hero for them. It's a hero that they've been relying upon throughout the last few weeks. When it comes to the tank, of course, one team takes ETC, the other team normally as a standard goes into Mirrodin, and Fnatic doesn't make a distinction here. They do that. And of course, that means also they let Uther now go, which could lead to them banning him out.
Yeah, the Uther is available as well, and it's actually very interesting for Fnatic picking up the Sonya, because G2, they could pick up the Uther for themselves, like we did say. Fnatic could ban it out. They ban it out instead, though, to prevent it from going to Fnatic, because they feel comfortable with maybe picking the Tyrael up for their composition to get the composition working. You think it's weird?
I think that, to me, that's a bit weird. I agree with you that they're most likely going to pick a Tyrael now.
Yeah.
But why do you ban out... I mean, even if you get Uther plus Tyrael, where's the problem in that?
Maybe it's because they have something that they really prioritize above that and they just don't want to let that go. So that's the only reason I can think, because I agree with you that if you had those 2 and you think they're going to work out, yeah, absolutely. But if you have something you're prioritizing that highly, then I guess they're going to put away Uther for it. So Tyrael is available here.
Because Fnatic could have also banned out Tyrael if they really were afraid of that mosh pit. You know, if you don't ban out Uther, but you ban out something else, like, I don't know, then you force Fnatic more or less into an Uther ban, or the Divine Shield mosh pit is a problem. Now they ban out Jaina, and considering how G2 Esports played this so far and in the past few weeks, I think a Jaina would have been a decent pick for them together with an Uther. So it's a little bit weird that they ban out the healer, because I really expected Fnatic to go for it.
Okay, now here is a bit of logic behind it, due to the fact that they did pick up the Kharazim here, because now they're really limiting the options for supports to go with the Sonya. There's still Brightwing and heroes like that, but you're still limiting the options because Tyrael is more than likely going to go over to G2 here, and that leaves Sonya a little bit more vulnerable than she might have been with, say, the Kharazim, with, say, the Uther.
I totally agree with you that that is probably their way of thinking, the thought process that they have here. I just don't know if I necessarily... I just don't know if I really agree with the fact that they think, okay, these 2 bans are so important that Fnatic is going to suffer enough. You know that it's worth it to really dedicate all of this to it.
Perfectly.
Because a Brightwing would be really nice. You can talk about Rhaegar again, which would also be an option, but it's more likely
we'll keep saying it until it happens that Rhaegar is in fact an option.
Rhaegar is going to be played a bit more in Europe at some point. I mean, he's already been played in Scrim. I don't think that we're going to see him today as a healer. Brightwing here makes a lot of sense. You have the Blink heal, you have the shield as well. You have Sonya then, of course, in this position here now too. And they could, next to that, also go even into that Tyrael again. They decide to play a Zagara, which is super powerful on this map. But in theory, they could have chosen to go Tyrael plus Brightwing. Then they have shield, they have ferocious healing for Sonya. So I'm not sure if I agree with the G2 Esports assessment that it's worth it to force them into a different healer. But that's definitely the thought process that they have here. If it works out for them, that's something we're going to see in the game. But yeah, that's of course a lot of things that you can theorize over. That's the beauty of having a draft like this.
It is very interesting indeed. And there is the Lieutenant Morales. You're missing out on that single target healing. Why not take the person who currently has the highest single target healing in the game in the form of that Lieutenant Morales? Yeah, and Morales is played a lot more nowadays. We've seen a lot of combinations where Morales is actually played with Sergeant Hammer, which I find extremely powerful. Such good zoning. It is very cool. That stim drone on the Hammer is insane. Like the damage that you get out with this is absolutely incredible. But on Sonya, it's also very strong. And I'm not quite sure if G2 Esports really expected this. Now they pick it here. That part I like. Because okay, this is getting a little bit weird right now with the draft. I feel this is a pick that they made because Morales just happened. The reasoning behind this, in my opinion, is that they really just said, all right, listen, we need something to jump Morales. Because they don't have like a Tyrael for hard engage with the Judgment. They have ETC still with the power slide. But Morales oftentimes now positions herself in a way that she doesn't even auto-attack anymore. Yeah, so she just stays at the back. She does her healing. Exactly. That's her job. And you know when we're talking about that ban on Uther again and that heal, why not ban out Karazhan? You can ban out Karazhan and you still have that. You still have that Uther. Now then you have that Divine Shield, not only for ETC, but also for Illidan. I think if they hadn't banned out Uther themselves, I'm pretty sure that Fnatic would have. But then Fnatic would have been limited in their own ways. They actually banned out the Jaina in the end to prevent that kind of burst damage follow-up. But I agree, it's very interesting, but the Karazhan should work for them, in theory, with this. And the Morales is going to be interesting. The Illidan pick I do want to talk about, because like you said, the whole point of dealing with Morales is you need to get to her. She stays very far back and does a lot of healing numbers. So the whole point is get to her, which is we've seen teams going with Thrall or people like that to try and just get into the backline. Illidan, he can get into the backline. He's probably one of the few heroes who actually has a chance of getting out if he has to go alone. Yeah, but I'm also thinking about what we have. I mean, I like the Illidan because he jumps in and he really puts pressure on Morales, and that is a threat to her. At the same time, though, we have a Muradin already against him. We do. Sonya is very strong against Illidan when she starts slamming him away. So it's a huge risk that they run with an Illidan. It's going to be interesting. It's definitely going to be interesting. If they can get to Morales and pick her off, then yes, it could work out for them. They do have that Divine Palm, obviously, to combo with the Illidan, keep him alive. It's just another solid one. But I think it's a question of you're not going to get Morales in the mosh pit. So why not try and deal with her to stop her interrupting the mosh pit and to try and get her away from that area? So I think maybe they'll dive her once they have the mosh pit going or something like that. But that means they're missing out on the damage of everyone else in the mosh pit from the Illidan. It's definitely a pretty interesting setup that they're running right now. Yeah. And it feels like a part of the setup is really them trying to take something away from Fnatic or directly countering parts. So Fnatic's draft, I like it a bit more here, I have to admit. I like what they're currently running here. They didn't get the chance to go into one of the healers that they probably like to, but I feel Morales is a very good substitute for that. Yeah. And if you don't kill Morales, I mean, we've seen so many Morales played in the last week. The numbers that you get on her if she's not killed, it's out of this world. It's absolutely crazy. Like, guys, it's absolutely insane. We could see that here. It all depends on how much can G2 Esports really lock her down. You also have a huge amount of gank potential here from the Muradin and the Sonya combined, even with the Kael'thas as well, with his own stun as well. Well, game has started, so we're going to jump in. Let's find out who's going to take game number 2. Fnatic currently is in the lead, and we are now on Dragonshire, our second map in the best of 5. And as the game starts, we have to the left side of the map, once again, Team Fnatic. And they are running this with Breeze on Muradin. We have Smexy style on Lieutenant Morales, the medic. Shat is playing Zagara. Of course, it's Quacknix on Sonya and Mene on Kael'thas.
To the right side of the map, Leo from Korea playing Karazim for the Polish team. We have Juve on Illidan, Chihu on ETC, Bashek on Falstad, and Nika on Johanna. Great setups here for both of the teams. That Zagara alone already is going to be a menace up at the top lane and going to secure most likely one of the towers for them. Already a bit of a fight happening, and Morales is where she should not be, at the front, and nearly dying here, if not for the rest of the team zoning for her instantly.
Yeah, Juve also dropped very low because he was like, "Oh, Morales," and just dived straight on her, as he should be doing, but getting very close to dying here. And now we're seeing everyone just split up and begin to head into the lanes.
Basically, Morales is in this game Illidan's red flag. Whenever he sees Morales, it's like, "Rawr."
And which is funny because ETC is actually the bull here. To be fair, he did actually dive in to follow up on that, so he can join in with that as well.
Yeah, they can share. It's fine. Well, to the bot lane, we have actually like a rotation happening between the bot lane and the mid lane. We do not see any kind of season marksman stacks on their end. We have one on Fawcett, of course, but they still rotate between the bot lane and the mid lane. The trauma trigger on level 1 for Morales, pretty standard here. And yeah, that being said, I'm still very, very curious to see how the Morales is going to work out, because as we said, if she's not being jumped, then her healing powers are out of this world.
They are very, very strong at the moment, and her heroic also can work out very nicely in the late game, and of course her displacement grenade, very good against the multiple situation.
In a bit of trouble, takes ETC down, but we still have an attack against her, and Quacknick's barely getting away. Morales now working overtime here, keeping her in play. But that kill against ETC was, of course, a very good start for Fnatic once again.
Yes, MexiStar really proving our point here that Morales healing is very, very strong. And with a nice safeguard on top of the person who's taking damage, you can get them out of a lot of situations, unless there is a very large amount of damage coming in.
Yeah, Zagara has not been able to capture the top shrine. We have forced that flying in, trying to put more pressure on her, but she was already on the way back. Zagara, of course, in general, very strong, especially in the early game, also good against Illidan, since those Hunter killers do a significant amount of damage. Level 4 talents now with another wind on Kel'Thas. We have the Reverberation build continued on level 4. And for Morales, are we going to see the grenade, or is she going to go into the advanced block? Two very strong talents on level 4 that you could take. So also, of course, 2 shrines that we see on the map now in favor of G2 eSports have also secured the level 4 talent.
Yeah, and it is the advanced block coming in from Morales. You are up against an Illidan. Any kind of extra protection is going to help out here. But the top shrine was at least neutralized by Zagara, who's currently being bullied by said Illidan. But Illidan has to back up thanks to Hunter killers.
Oh, Zagara is actually very low here and might die. At this point, we are seeing at the top lane, she's barely escaping. She was jumped by not only Illidan, but also ETC. Illidan had to move away. The chain bombs were really hard. And there comes again the condemned. Quacknick's already moving away on Sonya, but both shrines taken once more by G2 eSports. They're doing a very good job with the shrine control.
Yeah, and G2 moving in here, going to try and take control of the mid lane, but Breeze, he is the Muradin. He's very tanky. He'll be able to hold this for quite a while. And top lane once again taken back by Fnatic, who sent 3 members up there. And they have currently left Morales alone in the bot lane. But she's against Karazim. She should be able to say, okay, nice done by Shikl there.
Yeah, and here comes the rest of the team. We have a 3 versus 3. Johanna is in play. Illidan jumps for Mane. Kel'Thas is dead. And now they're going for Zagara, and she cannot survive this much pressure. A double kill for G2 eSports. Very well played. And it all started with a failed attempt of Fnatic to drop ETC.
Yeah, and this could give G2 eSports the time they need to go for a Dragon Knight attempt, and that's what they're going to try and do. Breeze immediately running in. Good stun onto Falstad, but he can't hold this for much longer. He has to back up, and that will be the first Dragon Knight of the game at 4 minutes, going over to G2 eSports.
And level 7, so we have the Dragon Knight starting to push straight into the mid lane. Level 7 is now ready, and Illidan, look at that, actually going straight for the rapid chase, movement speed after the dive. Now, that's a talent that I have not seen in a long, long time on him.
I don't think I've ever seen it. Outside of like one video where I just went full dive for fun. I don't think I've ever seen it outside of that.
Yeah, we have actually seen the Thrill for Battle. That was
we've seen that quite a bit. That was cool.
The cooldown reduction and the thought process behind it is actually very, very interesting, since you're just trying to get the shield up a bit faster, so that after level 13 you have an incredible amount of self-sustain. Normally it's first aid that we see here, but this is a very interesting choice that we have for Illidan. So yeah, that makes him a bit more dangerous during the fights, gives him more momentum at the cost of sustain that he loses.
Yeah, it allows him to chase quite a bit more efficiently as well, so maybe this is all down to trying to kill off that Morales. Good kill onto Karazim there, by Team Fnatic, but now Muradin taking quite a bit of damage. He is, of course, Muradin, and he has Smexy Star with him there. He's just able to tank all that up, and Smexy getting all the healing done.
Since Zagara is very much locked down at the bot lane, she goes for rapid incubation to get even more lane sustain. And we see a kill against Johanna. Great job here. Another body block rotation from Fnatic. They take down Johanna. And in kills, we have now 3 against 2, but they're not done yet. They stun Falstad. They move in and go for it. Illidan is there as well, but he has to move back. Falstad is down, and that is, of course, an advantage in numbers that Fnatic is running at the top lane, and that forces everyone from G2 Esports to retreat.
That is very well played by Fnatic there, also surviving that kind of counter-engage by G2, and this is giving Fnatic a big head start on their level 10s, which will probably be available at this point before the next set of shrines are actually available.
Yeah, we have them also here. We have actually like only one of the teams with the cleanse.
Yeah,
Cleanse in this case, I'm still like wondering. You don't necessarily need to go for it, I feel, here in the setup. Yeah, but it's still a decent talent to have. I mean, Cleanse is pretty solid. If you have it, then you are also much safer on the rest of your setup. We have also cooldown reduction now for Johanna, but you're totally right. Like, the level 10s are going to change this game, of course, immensely. Once we're in the mid-game and we have all the talents available, or all the abilities available, this is where the real magic starts.
G2 actually able to keep up with their heroics very well and get them just after Fnatic here. And everything's taken. We see the medevac from the Morales. Good stun onto Johanna. Their Mighty Gust is going to allow the Johanna to get out of there pretty nicely.
Yeah, medevac is more one of the talents that you, of course, like, this is actually a pretty cool talent on this map because you can jump from shrine to shrine or just like go straight to the Dragonite. You can also attempt to backdoor your opponent if you want. So that is a very sweet move here. So that's pretty cool to see. I could have seen a stim drone here as well. I mean, considering that they're running with a Sonya in this case. Yeah. But of course, having that medevac makes for some really fun plays.
Yeah, it's a good, actually, get out of jail free card as well for Morales. If she's actually just about to die, she can activate it, and it gives her, not a huge one, but it gives her a second health pool and a second chance to try and get away while she's waiting for that countdown. Just like, please, 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 while Illidan's whacking away at the medevac. So it's a good escape mechanism if she really takes that much damage from Illidan diving deeper.
Yeah, and Illidan so far has, of course, picked his Metamorphosis, and he is, well, Metamorphosis allows him already to jump out of a tough situation, or at least that gives him a few chances to stay alive longer in the fight itself, allow other like heroes, like the healers, to get their cooldowns back up, and the Divine Palm is going to help him mainly. But now we have the shrines active still down to the bot lane. The first one has been claimed. Here goes another structure. And the top lane, Zagara is actually not going for the shrine yet. She is very passive here. She knows exactly that Juve is waiting somewhere, not even attacking, staying on that mount and just saying like, yeah, dude, I'm not going to fall for that bait. I'm just going to soak experience.
I will say, though, G2 running a lot of Fellstalkers. It's been a beautiful, nice dodge on the Blessed Shield there, but Quacknick still completely surrounded. Here comes the Morales, though. The healing's good. He gets out of the mosh pit, too. Very well played there. And we're going to see Fnatic begin to turn around. Nika is the one they're trying to focus, but remember, it is Johanna there. And a good Mighty Gust is going to allow G2 to disengage.
Quacknick's back at full health immediately. Well played here. And he was able to keep himself alive. That was quite something.
Yeah,
nice
he was surrounded.
Dodges.
I was like, you are gone. You cannot get out of this. And then Morales showed up.
That was nice dodging also when he used the whirlwind. I mean, he went just like throughout all of those spells and was able to keep himself alive long enough. Now with the level 13 talents coming into play. And that's going to be pretty cool as well. I mean, for Morales, we could, for example, also see now on level 13 if she wants the couples therapy. But it's, I feel a little bit like intensive care is usually a talent that we see a lot these days. For now, we have the chain bombs, which is one of the most important parts when we're talking about damage on the side of Fnatic. Mystical Spear is going to give a lot for her as well. And it is indeed the couples therapy that has been claimed now by Morales. So we are going to see a bit of self-heal for herself.
Yeah, just a bit of self-sustain, going to be really nice here. And her healing appears to be enough, so she seems quite comfortable with that. Quacknick's trying to chase, but he's pretty much alone here. Morales just came up to try and help out, but was not there in time for them to try and get a quick kill there.
G2 Esports, of course, wait for the level 13 talent as well before they really take a battle here.
Yeah.
Zagara is still... It's so funny to actually like watch only the minimap every now and then when we see Zagara just trying to sneak onto the shrine, and then every time Illidan starts to move towards it, she moves back again. It's really the battle between the two of them. Mena in trouble, and Morales attacked as well. Morales keeping Mena alive. Look at that. He's getting pushed into the tower. Still the heals. He's gonna fall eventually.
Oh, there he goes.
Into a wall. Nice more. but good effort also by Stutter trying to keep him alive.
Yeah, he was very nearly a bit saved there. That more might have been enough to drop the damage off, but it just wasn't. But still a really good effort there. And Style, despite being under a huge amount of pressure himself from Illidan, was like, no, I must save my teammate. That is the priority.
Yeah, that Mighty Gust was really then just
that
like,
was really
that was sealing the deal. But that was a pretty cool move regardless. Now the evasive shield talent taken on level 13. We see, of course, for Charism, the Relentless, and have the giant killer for Falstead. With even more damage thanks to Johanna hiding straight into the Burning Rage again.
Yeah, the 6th Sense talent, like you already mentioned from Illidan, really solid here, especially when you're against that Kayle Pass.
I drew a blank there for a second. I could not for the life of it remember what that talent was called.
Nah, it's all good. 6th Sense really, really strong against the Kayle Pass here. Another Dragon Knight going over to G2 here. And they're going to be a bit more cautious with this one. Don't want to push out while they don't have Bashek or ETC, who both had to go back for health and mana.
This is, by the way, like so brilliant. Like you have to wait sometimes just with your Dragon Knight. You don't want to go into deep. You just wait for the rest of your team. And as I say, he dashes in and he is immediately taken down by 50% of his hit points. Nika, what are you doing?
Yeah, he's playing as passively as he can, but he did not wait for his team and immediately ran into 4 members.
Yeah.
And as such, has lost most of his health already. He's still losing health, gets caught in the Flame Strike.
I was just about to praise him for his patience, and then he wastes that Dragon Knight. Like, okay, this, guys, is what you shouldn't do. You should wait for the rest of your team to be ready, and then you move in with the Dragon Knight, but that was a big, big waste on the side of Nika. A bit atypical. Usually they are very good when it comes to that. A Dragon Knight control on this map has always been kind of impeccable. That was a very uncharacteristic move there. I feel he just only saw one hero, wanted to punt it away, and then suddenly from the sides, the 3 others
comes in.
Exactly, the others are appearing, and he's like, uh-oh. And yeah, well, then he loses the hit points on the Dragon Knight a bit too fast, but it happens.
Sometimes it is really a struggle if the enemy team really gathers around you as a Dragon Knight, but in that case, you just play passively and let your team do as much work on the map as you can.
That would have been the best choice here, just buy a bit of time for the team, especially for Falstead to come back and then push in with everybody, or just like spread out, take experience on the lanes. As is, the Dragon Knight didn't really do any damage. We have Fnatic now with closer to level 16 than their opponents. In kills, it's still 4 kills against 3. Not the most kill-heavy game. 12 minutes in, 7 kills is still decent though. And fuck, he's at the bot lane, spear over the wall, doesn't even have to use it. Everybody's already moving away. G2 realizes they won't get Sonya here.
The Quack next. Beginning to make his way forward though. Illidan going onto Muradin here, but Muradin already able to jump away. But Bashek has to pull back, just in fact he's being Phoenixed, which is a lot of damage. Fnatic aren't done yet though. They're all pretty much healthy. Thanks to Morales again. They're looking to move in and maybe steal the cap, but nope, Mighty Gust, and that is secured by G2.
Yeah, the commitment to Mighty Gust, it's a very low cooldown, of course, for those 40 seconds. That's really one of the talents that you can spam out quite a bit. It's not quite as good as Phoenix, because that Phoenix, of course, stays for a while as well, so the cooldown seems to be even shorter to you once that Phoenix appears, because the cooldown starts once you deploy Phoenix. But it's still pretty impressive to have such a short cooldown on such a great talent.
Schickel getting zoned out there. He has to pull back to his fort and help protect it. He has reinforcements now, though, and can begin to move forward with the rest of G2, who want to try and take control of this bottom shrine, but they are very, very outnumbered. No, they're not. Everyone has arrived. The mosh pit interrupted there. Quacknix pulling out. In comes the Metamorphosis into the backline, but Quacknix is on it. Focusing down. The Maw was good onto Johanna as well. Illidan getting focused, and he is taken down.
That's exactly the problem. Muradin great against him, and there was Sonya always chasing him down. Now, not only him is that, they have also forced that down. Johanna dies too. That's a triple kill. It could be a quad kill if Quacknix is able to connect with ETC or Charism. Breeze jumps in, hits that Stormball, tries to body block, doing really well at it, and that Gravity Lapse is going to finish the job. Divine Palm, well played, and he slides through the gate. Good job on the side of Charism and ETC escaping here. But of course, Fnatic has secured a triple kill, and they drop the entire wall at the keep, and they are going to go for the fort on the way back.
Breeze was really solid in that fight. He was able to CC the Illidan, get onto Falstad, and get the final hits on him as well. Everything he did, he was in full control of that fight.
Yeah, I loved Quacknix's reaction as well. He was always on Illidan, always waiting for him to jump in, and once we saw Metamorphosis, he just went straight in and slammed the hell out of Illidan.
Yeah.
Was very well done here, and once Illidan was dead, that was about the same time that we saw actually Johanna die too, and everything just turned against them.
Yeah, oh, Yuva saved by Vashek here. Nika moving in. You were actually thinking about rejoining his team, but he is far too low to deal with this. Quacknix getting focused down, gets stunned up by the blessed shield. They're committed to this quite heavily. There is the medivac. Can Quacknix get out of there? No, he gets CC'd. The medivac going to be taken off. Doesn't actually go very far, just over the wall.
They can get a Dragonite if they're fast enough. Yes, there they are. Dragonite secured. Karazhan was trying to get the shrine at the bot lane, but this is a Dragonite for Fnatic now. They are a level ahead, and with the DK, they can first of all wait a bit longer. They already rotated the top of the Dragonite. They can also wait a bit for Sonya, but as long as nobody is really reacting to the Dragonite rotation, they can just go for the damage at the top, and that's exactly what they do.
Yeah, Dragonite's going pretty ham up here, just pushing as hard as it can. We're seeing members of G2 coming up here to help defend against this. Nice stun there to interrupt the punch there by the Dragonite. So Maida just pulling back with this, and this is exactly what we thought Nika was going to do. Just try and stay away from the enemy to make sure that they don't zone you out and just wipe out your Dragonite before the duration's up.
Yeah, this is exactly what you kind of have to do here. So, of course, now the rotation straight into the middle where we have another fort on the map. It looks a bit like a trade. Top lane is still present and Illidan is moving in there. So, yeah, they're going to trade this, but I don't really feel that Fnatic is going to have any problems with that because experience gain is working in their favor. They're going to hit level 20 first and the kick against Falstad. So yeah, once they have level 20, they can just use that to secure themselves another Dragonite or just like simply go straight for one of the keeps that are already quite exposed, especially the one at the bot lane, of course.
Yeah, this fort is going to go... No, it's actually going to survive by the skin of its teeth there from that fire breath from the Dragonite here. Yuva getting focused, drops his Metamorphosis to get out there. The Maw trying to predict the landing point, but was not able to catch him.
Yeah, was a nice attempt, but...
Yeah.
That would have been actually very cool.
That would have been so good if he'd been able to nail that.
I think I saw once a false that flew into a Maw. That also looks very, very silly.
Well, this fort in the mid lane, 163 health. That's going to be wiped out at any point the second anyone from anyone from Fnatic tries to get near it. Got it.
That works as well. The mercenaries moving, killed, secure. Oh, Johanna down. Wow. Bot lane pressure. Look at that. Once again, they are down a hero. Fnatic is bullying them now. They have the level 20 talents, and we have, of course, the Caduceus Reactor. We're also seeing now the Hardened Shield for Muradin and also for Sonya called Ignore Pain because he can activate the Whirlwind during it. Big whoop.
Yeah. Real exciting there, but it is warranting itself.
It is actually fun. Yeah. I mean, it's cool that we have, you know, it's more Diablo style to have Ignore Pain and the Nerves of Steel taken. That's very nice. But in the end, it's the exact same talent. It's just like
with an extra line of code.
Exactly. It's like an additional sentence there. You can activate while whirlwinding.
Yeah. To be fair, that would be very distracting if you were just like, okay, I'm Tychus. Oh, I can activate Ignore Pain while using my minigun. If only or while whirlwinding, if only I had a whirlwind.
Yeah. Well, at this point, I have to say, like, it's you know, when you come from the Diablo universe, it kind of feels nice to have these talents in there. That's pretty cool, yeah.
Indeed. So for now, we are seeing Fnatic just taking control of all of the lanes, making sure they get as many mercenaries as they can and clearing up. While Kael'thas spending a bit of time in the top lane, clearing out the only lane that G2 has been able to get pushing as best he can. G2, though, they're just leaving their lanes a bit at the moment and beginning to regroup and get ready. However, there is a mercenary camp in the top lane, putting quite a bit of pressure on them.
We have seen that keep at the bottom lane, of course, destroyed. So that lane is going to push constantly. If you take another camp, it's going to increase that even more. And we already have one mercenary camp pushing here. We haven't really seen too many plays with the Medivac that could really.
We have not. We've seen it activated once.
Yeah,
basically.
Exactly. So this is really the time when you suddenly can make moves because the keep at the bottom is gone. So if you fly in there, you can go for a backdoor, or you can just use the mobility to go up to the top, take that shrine, and send somebody else into the mid lane instead. And that is actually something that they might try and do here. ETC is sent to the bottom lane to defend. This is a massive wave, by the way, that is moving in there.
Pretty much
double camp.
Everyone's gone down there to defend that due to just there being so much stuff there. But that gives Fnatic time to roam up to the top lane. They will grab this shrine here, but ETC's already on his way down to the bot lane. Zagara is on her way to try and delay this. But Quacknix has control. Zagara's just going to try and delay this. And we're going to see the middle Dragonite. No, we have Johanna there who's delaying as long as she can.
Yeah, but they are going to get it.
Yeah, they are. She pulled back despite having a huge numbers advantage in the mid lane.
Oh, can Shat maybe go in?
Speed metal.
Nah, Yeah, we have not only that, we also have, of course, now the Karazhan moving in.
Yeah, he also has bolted the Storm on his level 20, just in case. We're seeing a bit of a fight with the Dragon Knight here, doing as much damage as he can to Nika. The good Moore, actually. Muradin being in there, getting ready to try and follow up on this. ETC coming in to at least stun out the Dragon Knight, and Leo following up on him, making sure he gets out fine.
Breeze with a fail bolt there, had 2 targets and hit one of them. Yeah, but he's still chasing them. They made him angry right now. He wants to go in. There's the Storm on this one, hit hard. Indestructible is Brock. Level 20 versus level 20. Talents are, of course, ready. And Divine Palm is saving Johanna. Sonya is actually down. Can maybe G2 start to turn this now? They have a Dragon Knight against them, but they still have the lead in numbers thanks to that kill against Sonya.
They're keeping control of this fight spectacularly well, considering how close it's been. Yuva going so fast here, the mosh pit there, grabbing Shad, but he's able to bolt away from this. Yuva's not giving up on this, though. If he can get a dive, he does get an extra movement speed. And there we go, using it off of Breeze there to try and give chase.
Yeah, so they are still chasing and trying to move in for this, but this is actually a very nice situation of a G2 eSports. They are attempting to turn this game around, and so far we only have 1 keep down. That's still something that you can manage.
Yeah, they're trying to get anything they can here, but despite Fnatic having the Dragon Knight, they've actually pulled back to make sure that they don't get picked off. But G2, they can't make any aggression out of this. They're able to grab the camp, but most of the time they're going to have to defend that bot lane, which is currently about to push onto core.
Yeah, at the top lane we also have a bit of a defense happening, but now it's level 21 versus level 21. So far, no actual damage at the core taken yet. With the 20 talents, we also have the epic mount for Falstad. That's massive. This is just massive mobility on the map here, and that gives you an opportunity to maybe go for a Dragon Knight at some point, when you can just fly into a lane and try to claim either a temple or the dragon, or a shrine, or the Dragon Knight itself. But yeah, a very nice play so far by G2. I mean, so far Fnatic has overall really dominated the game, I would say. But now that we are on level 20 versus 20, it's an eye-level fight again. And the only advantage that Fnatic has is really that keep at the bot lane. All the other structures on the map, that's still something that you can manage if you just get the objective once.
And Fnatic, they're looking to try and extend or just re-get any kind of advantage here by pushing in the mid lane. G2 are all here to defend, so they're looking for a possibility of a teamfight. Breeze getting stunned up here, but they're not willing to follow it up, and with that huge healing from Morales, not too much. Nice stun onto Johanna there, but Illidan going in very deep, fighting with the Sonya here.
Is zoned by the Phoenix now. Sonya still waiting for a good spear. Doesn't really hit, but of course with the mystical spear, she's still pulled forward. We have Smexy starters healing everybody here, and that Caduceus reactor is also going to help him a lot with the saves there. We have 5 kills versus 8. This is game number 2, of course, in this best of 5. We have a best of 5 series, and the winner is going to face TeamLiquid in the finals. But for now, Fnatic in a slight lead thanks to the victory in the first map. But here's that big team fight that we've been waiting for. The Maw already against ETC. Sonya is in a bit of trouble, gets the shield. Illidan is jumping in as well. Zagara is forced to bolt out of the battle. And once again, Illidan just going ham on everybody. But they're so low. ETC with a mosh pit, but he dies. Gets taken down by Sonya. The kill against Johanna. Well played. Falstad trying to save them, but that double kill alone could already lead into another Dragon Knight for Fnatic.
The medevac used there by Morales, I think, to actually stop her from dying to Illidan. So she gets out of there. Illidan is on the run. He's actually going to be back next to the enemy hard camp so that he can get out of there. But this is giving Fnatic time to grab both shrines, and they will get another Dragon Knight here, and this could be their chance to try and move in.
Yeah, 23 minutes into the game, the Dragon Knight is, I mean, that guy is stronger than Hulk.
2 heroes ahead. They are looking super solid here. They're going to move in, Mania on that Dragon Knight, and they look great.
Yeah, they should go bot lane. There's no need to go for their keep in the middle. Absolutely no need whatsoever. You finish that game and you finish it now. You move in with a DK and you hammer away at the core. The extra damage against the structures is all that you need at this point. Another 10 seconds until the 2 tanks are gone. Back in the game, and yeah, this is definitely going to be it. Fnatic has no trouble finishing this game. Just look at the damage that the Dragon Knight dishes out here. Great play by them. They secure themselves a 2-0 lead in the best of 5. Very well played by Fnatic, taking Dragonshire against G2 eSports.
Really nicely played by Fnatic there.